And we welcome you to another Friday night under the lights here on HSPNSports.com. Ryan Stout joining you tonight, bringing you all the action here on HSPN Sports as well as the other platforms. Watch HSPN all over the place, folks. Bleacher.com, Florida High School Football, FloridaHSFootball.com, HighSchoolFootballAmerica.com, and FloridaGridironPreps.com. Don't forget, Twitter feed is active and live. At HSPN Sports is the handle. At HSPN Sports is the handle. At any point during the broadcast, make sure you hit us up at any time. We'll see that you get a shout-out. Any fans out there for Coral Springs? Any fans out there for Marjorie Stoneman Douglas? This is a feature of the annual Pig Bowl here from Caldwell Stadium, home of the Colts of Coral Springs High School. Folks, we're here to kick things off here on Friday night under the lights. As you can see, the sun setting in the background. The Eagles set to kick it off here to the Colts in the first half. Colts back deep to receive. And in and out of the hands of the receiver, he's going to pick it up. It's going to go back into the end zone. That's going to be a touchback for the Colts here in their first possession of this game. Once again, we thank you for joining us here tonight here on HSPNSports.com. I want to thank those that made this broadcast possible tonight. Florida High School Football, City News Magazine, M&L Insurance, Remax and Vantage Realty, and Premier Networking Alliance. We thank you for the support of the Keeping Dreams Alive Foundation, as well as the student athletes participating on tonight's field. All right, we got things going. White hat. Let's get things started. Colts start things out here on offense. Got a doubles set to the near side of the field. Colts are going to start on their own 20-yard line, led by quarterback Kyle Kaplan. Two running backs alongside Kaplan. They're going to keep it on the ground, first play of the game. And it's going to be a no gain and a loss, folks. Big time stop here on the defensive side of the ball. Colts come out with negative yards. That's going to bring up a second and about 13 for the Colts. Let's bring up the impact players for tonight. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas impact players: Trent Baldeo, Riley Allison, Alex Caldelas, and Matt Caby. Impact players for Douglas Eagles tonight. Second and 13 here from their own 16-yard line. The Colts line it up, led by Kaplan. In the shotgun position, and they're going to blow it dead here. Looks to be encroachment by the defense. That's going to be a penalty against the Eagles. It's going to push them forward a little bit. First positive yards of the game for the Colts. Second and 7 here for the Colts, led by Kaplan. He's going to give it up to the running back once again. He's going to find a big hole, even bigger area to find some action, and he's going to make his way down the field, folks. That's going to be the biggest gain thus far. After 3 plays, they find a niche. The running back makes his way down the field. That is going to be a big gain by the Coral Springs Colts. That's going to be a 45-yard pickup for the Colts. First and 10 in Douglas territory, folks. Big-time pickup by the Colts here. Impact players tonight for the Colts: Stubbs, Kaplan, Fearon, and Fernandant. Colts once again with a big-time gain. First and 10 in Douglas territory. Kaplan's going to hand it off one time to the running back. Big-time hit, and enough to stop them with a short gain for the Colts. That was Kaplan to Stubbs, 2 impact players for tonight's game. Kaplan's wearing the number 7 jersey. Nate Stubbs, the number 1 jersey. Second and 9 here for the Colts here in the first quarter of play. Kaplan alongside two running backs, one in the pistol. He's going to get it off to Stubbs once again. Stubbs going to try to take it around the far side of the field, and a big-time stop by the defensive backs. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas coming up with a big stop. Going to bring up a third down. And about 14 for the Colts. Third down in Douglas territory. Folks, if you can't see it on the film, we got a little spritz in the air. Just a little sun shower. It's been raining down here in South Florida. I'd say probably since noon. So if you can tell, the field is extremely wet. Going to have a probably big running game. Kaplan, he's going to look down the field, use his arm, going to find the curl route deep into Douglas territory and come up with the completion.
Kaplan's pass complete. That was number 2, Andrew Siren on the reception. Stop on the play, number 20, Robbie Rodriguez.
And a big-time gain once again for the Colts. That's going to bring up a first down deep into Douglas territory. And it looks to be on the 9-yard line for the Colts. Kaplan, first time in the air tonight. It's going to be a completion. Just a quick curl route. Wide receiver finding the zone. Coming up with the catch. Kaplan once again alongside one running back this time. Going to motion fullback to the far side of the field. Kaplan's going to look once again to use his arm. He's going to dump it off to his running back, but Stubbs is going to go in and out of the hands of his running back, Stubbs. Just a little too much juice on it from Kaplan. A little bit behind him. Tried to hit the swing route, coming to the near side of the field. That's going to bring up a second down and goal for the Colts. First quarter of play. 8:41 on the clock. 0-0 score. Kaplan once again in the shotgun position. Got a pistol set. Stubbs in the backfield. Kaplan's going to give it up to Stubbs on the ground one more time. Near side of the field, he's going to break to the corner of the end zone and be pushed out on the 5-yard line of Stoneman Douglas.
Pushed out of bounds on the near sideline, number 8, Clarence Burley. That'll bring up a Colts third down.
That's going to bring up a third and goal situation here for the Colts. From Douglas 5-yard line, Kaplan once again leading the charge here for the Colts offense, and you're not going to see any wide receivers flexed. 3 running backs in the backfield. Kaplan's going to fake the run. He's going to boot out to the near side of the field, and a tight end wide open in the back of the end zone, folks. 7 points on the board for the Colts here in the first quarter of play. Kaplan, starting quarterback, dumps it off to the tight end in the back of the end zone with only 8:20 on the clock. Here in the first quarter, the Colts put first points on the board. Colts doing a great job of disguising the pass play. When you thought it was going to be a run with 3 running backs in the backfield, looked to be a wishbone set. They're going to fake the run. Kaplan's going to boot out to the near side of the field, wide open in the back of the end zone. Great pitch and catch by the starting quarterback. Colts up for the extra point. It's going to be low off the helmet, and that's going to be, that is going to be good. Folks, that's 7-0 on the board here from Coral Springs, Florida. Caldwell Stadium, home of the Colts of Coral Springs High School, are hosting the annual Pig Bowl with Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. A rivalry, a district rivalry on top of that has been back to back here in Coral Springs. A great game to watch. Unfortunately, a little rain outside has definitely stopped some of the fans from coming out to support their teams, but nevertheless, 2 great football teams here in Coral Springs that have great history, and the Colts put first points on the board. 7-0 here in the first quarter of play. 8:20 still on the clock. Douglas back to receive. Once again, we want to thank you for joining us tonight here on HSPNSports.com. You can watch HSPN all over the place. Bleacher.com, FloridaHighSchoolFootball.com, HighSchoolFootballAmerica.com, and FloridaGridironPreps.com. The Colts back to kick. Kick is up. It's going to be a low one. End over end. Second level is going to pick it up and see how much they can get on the return. A decent return for Douglas. Ball's going to come out of the hands, but out of bounds, so no worries for the Eagles here on offense. First time they get a chance to be on the field tonight. Once again, 7-0 score here in the first quarter of play. 8:20 on the clock. Tyler Goodman, the starting quarterback for Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, will lead the charge for the offense. Last time we had Douglas on the broadcast, Riley Allison was the player to watch. Starting running back, led the charge. Glad we could have them back on the broadcast. We'll bring up those impact players in a little bit. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Doubles wide set. I formation. Goodman is going to keep it on the ground for the first play. And that's going to be a short gain for the Eagles. Riley Allison, number 5. Impact player for tonight. Impact players for Douglas: Trent Baldeo, Riley Allison, Alex Cadellis, and Matthew Caby. Second and a long 6 for the Eagles. I formation once again. Goodman's going to hand it off to Riley. He's going to find a crease on the outside, just outside of the tackle, and it's going to be a big gain. Bring up a first down for the Eagles on their first possession here in the first quarter of play. 7:28 on the clock. Nathan Samuels with the stop for the Colts. That's going to bring up a first down from their the Colts 43-yard line. Goodman up under center. It's going to have one running back in the backfield. Doubles wide receiver set to the near side of the field. Goodman is going to give it off to his fullback, and he's going to follow the big boys up front, and they got some big boys, folks. Nick Weber, Corey Gaynor, just two of the beef package that they have for the Douglas Eagles. It's going to be a short gain. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 situation for the Eagles. Goodman, once again, up under center. Got a full back about 2 yards behind Goodman. Doubles wide receiver set to the near side of the field. Goodman is going to give it off to his fullback once again. Looks to keep it on the ground tonight. Once again, the field is very much wet. It's been raining for a long time out here, folks, since about noon. And still got somewhat of a sprinkle as the sun goes down. That's a 3rd down situation and about 2 for the Eagles. Same formation, Goodman up under center. They're going to keep it on the ground once again. Fullback is going to get a short gain, but going to bring up a first down for the Eagles. First possession here for the Eagles. First quarter of play. 5:51 on the clock. That's going to bring up a fourth down, A 4th down situation. We got the white hat calling it. I think they're going to give them a chance to measure it. And they're going to bring out the chains. From the looks of it right here, we have about 4th and a half a yard here. Once again, the Twitter feed is active at HSPN Sports, is the Twitter handle at HSPN Sports at any time during the broadcast. When we get some time to look down at the feed, promise we'll get some shout-outs. Glad you can tune in from all over the country, all over the nation, locally, regionally. Once again, watch HSPN all over the place. Bleacher.com, Florida High School Football, HighSchoolFootballAmerica.com, and FloridaGridironPreps.com. And after a measurement, I think, folks, they're going to keep it at a 4th down and nearly a half a yard. Goodman making some checks at the line. We got I formation from the Eagles here on this 4th and half a yard. Single wide receiver set, flex to both sides. Goodman's going to take it on his own. Quarterback sneak right up. The lineman's back. And we got a signal from the white hat. That's going to bring up a 1st down and 10 situation. Timeout on the field. First timeout in the first quarter of play. Once again, impact players coming your way. Trent Baldeo, Riley Allison, Alex Cadellis, and Matt Cabey. Those are the impact players for this week's game for the Douglas Eagles. Impact players for the Colts: Nate Stubbs, Kyle Kaplan, Fearson, and I apologize if I butchered this last name, but Ferdinand, I believe it is. Impact players for the Colts. Once again, I want to thank those that made this broadcast possible tonight. Florida High School Football, City News Magazine, M&L Insurance, Remax and Vantage Realty, and Premier Networking Alliance. We thank you for the support of HSPN Sports and the Keeping Dreams Alive Foundation. 5:27 here on the clock. 7-0 score. The Colts lead the way here in the first quarter. I formation for Douglas. They're going to keep it on the ground. Riley Allison is going to make a great move at the line, cut back inside, and come up with a big gain for the Eagles. That's going to bring up a 2nd and a very short yard. Douglas has yet to throw the ball yet, and at this point, don't really need to. Great possession thus far for the Eagles. First possession for the Eagles. They came out and kicked off to the Colts. Once again, that fullback position. They're bringing Riley Allison motion to the outside. It's going to be a misdirection to Daniel Crisatelli. Number 33, the fullback position. Folks, it's going to be misdirection, and it's going to bring up a touchdown. 6 points on the board for the Eagles here in the first quarter of play. Back-to-back offense possessions for both the Colts and the Eagles. Points on the board. That's going to bring up 6 for Crisatelli. Extra point team coming out. Going to make up the difference. First quarter of play once again. 4:36 on the clock. And the rain is coming down. Kick is up. And it's through the upright. 7-7 on the board with 4:36 left in the first quarter of play. A beautiful night with a little rain here from James M. Caldwell Stadium. Home of the Colts here on the Pig Bowl, the annual Pig Bowl. And folks, guess what? If you don't know what the Pig Bowl is down here in Coral Springs, at the end of the game, whoever the loser is, the losing principal has to kiss a pig. They actually have a pig in the stadium as we speak. So the rivalry has gone on for many years now. I believe Douglas won the Pig Bowl last year against the Colts. And it looks to be a tight one here tonight with a 7-7 score. Both offenses coming out and really taking advantage of their time of possession. With only 4:36 on the clock, we've got two offenses that are doing a great job. Jared Hollander, the kicker for the Eagles, set back to kick. This is going to bring up the second possession for the Colts. Both offenses showing their strengths in the ground game. Colts are the only ones to put it in the air tonight. Hollander kicks it high and deep. The Colts find a seam, and they're going to be brought down. Robertson is going to be the returner, and he's going to be brought down in great territory for the Colts. Bring him out to the 33-yard line. Kaplan, starting quarterback for the Colts, is going to lead the charge. And that's going to bring up a first down, from the 30-yard line. And Kaplan is joined alongside Two running back set, one in the pistol. Double wide receiver set, stacked to the far side of the field. Kaplan, he's going to look to the far side of the field, and it's going to bounce off the turf. What seemed to be a quick screen suddenly became an incomplete pass. And they're going to mark it. They almost looked like they were going to mark it a loss of yards, but the Whitecap has got them back in order. 2nd down and 10. Once again, that was an incomplete pass. Kaplan alongside one running back set. Colts sticking to the doubles, wide receiver set, stacked, and they're going to keep it on the ground this time. Nate Stubbs, one of the impact players for tonight, is the ball carrier of choice. It's going to bring up a decent gain on the play. 3rd and 5 for the Colts offense. 4-0-0 on the clock. 7-7 score here in the first quarter. 3rd and 5 situation. You're going to see trips to the far side of the field. And in that trips, you're going to have what looks to be a fullback. Motion Stubbs to the far side of the field. Kaplan is going to look to throw it short, and it looked like it just slipped out of his hands right there, folks. That's going to be an incomplete pass for the Colts. And their first 4th down situation of the night. It's going to bring out the Colts special teams unit. Daquan Bailey-Brown for the Eagles back to receive. Daquan's heels back on his own 35-yard line. Once again, folks, it's raining out here, so incomplete passes. Balls are wet. Kicks are short. Snaps back. Kick is up. It's high. And it's going to be a good one. End over end. And the Colts are going to bring out their defense. And it looks like Douglas is going to start from their own 28-yard line. 3:29 on the clock. Tyler Goodman makes his way out. Single wide receiver set with I formation. Gotta love it, keeping it old school. Goodman up under center. He's going to give it off to Allison. Allison's going to try and bounce it to the far side of the field. And defensive backs are just going to swarm. It's going to be a short gain on the play. 2nd down. 2nd down and about 8 to go. 3:05 on the clock and counting. 7-7 score here in the first quarter. Second and 6. Get the yard marker right for you. Once again, Douglas going to line up in their very familiar I formation set. Single wide receivers. They're going to be on the far hash. Goodman, he's going to look to pass it this time. He throws it up in the air to a wide open wide receiver and just out of the hands of Daquan Bailey-Brown, number 10, for the Eagles. And you don't get much more open than that, folks. Once again, Tyler Goodman has a wide open wide receiver down the sideline to the far side of the field. And once again, it doesn't get much better than that. Just outside of the reach of Daquan Bailey-Brown. Eagles, once again, I formation set. 3rd and 6 situation. Little misdirection, but Goodman's going to keep it this time. He's going to dump it off to the fullback. And it's going to be a big-time gain for the Eagles. A big 3rd down conversion for the Eagles. Goodman is going to boot out to the near side of the field, find his fullback wide open, and come up with a first down from, I want to say, their own 46-yard line. Goodman, once again, going to see it to do it in the air. He rolls out to the far side of the field, and a sliding catch by the Eagles fullback once again. 1:55 on the clock.
Wilson, the junior linebacker, on the stop pass completion.
7-7 on the board here in the first quarter of play. Second possession here for the Eagles. Second and about 5. Motion to the near side of the field. It's going to bring out double set, and they're going to keep it on the ground. Riley Allison is the running back, folks, and he is going to lose traction, but going to be a massive gain. Bring up a first down here for the Eagles. 1:22 on the clock and counting. Both teams look to their sidelines. Goodman once again up under center. I formation set. They're going to motion Allison out to the far side of the field. He becomes a receiver. And they're going to give it up to the fullback once again. He's going to find a crease outside of the tackle and take it way down the field, folks. The running game is on point for the Eagles tonight. That's going to bring up another first down way deep into the Colts territory. And referee's going to take some time, and as he takes some time, we too will take some time. At HSPN Sports is the Twitter handle. Hit us up at HSPN Sports. And you could also find any more information, any other games that we've been broadcasting throughout the year. This is game number 6. We've been broadcasting them all year in 2016, and that's hspnsports.com. But the Twitter handle, you want to hit us up. Any shout-outs? Those that have joined us in the broadcast at HSPN Sports is the Twitter handle. Watch HSPN all over the place. Bleacher.com, highschoolfootballamerica.com, FloridaGridironPreps.com, and FloridaHSFootball.com. We want to thank those that made this broadcast possible tonight, as well as supporting our student athletes. Florida High School Football, City News Magazine, M&L Insurance, Remax and Vantage Realty, and Premier Networking Alliance. We thank you for your support of the student athletes as well as the Keeping Dreams Alive Foundation tonight. And unfortunately, the student athlete for the Colts is going to make his way very slowly off the field with the help of the Colts staff. Both teams make their way out to the field. .53 seconds on the clock, a 7-7 score. Eagles with their second possession of the game. Here in the first quarter of play, they got 1st and 10. I want to say from their own, the Colts' 18-yard line. Goodman up under center. Double wide receiver set to the near side of the field. Goodman's going to look to the sideline. Confirm the play, make a couple checks. Goodman's going to keep it on the ground to Allison once again. He finds a huge crease. That offensive line is sure doing their job tonight. A huge crease. And he takes it up the field. And we have a penalty flag on the field. That's going to be a holding against the offense. What was a big game has now turned into a major loss for the Eagles on that 1st and 10. 24 seconds on the clock in the first quarter. 7-7 score. That's going to be a repeat of first down.
First down and 10 from the Colts, 20-yard
And that looks to be 1st and 14 from their own 20-yard line now. Excuse me, the Colts 20-yard line. I formation is the set for Eagles. Goodman's going to see it in the air. He's going to take a chance down the field, the corner of the end zone. Folks, that's going to be in the hands and a touchdown. We apologize. Hey, it doesn't get, we're in a high school box. You're not going to get it all. Daquan Bailey-Brown, number 10, on the corner route in the corner of the end zone. A beautiful pitch and catch by the quarterback and wide receiver. That's going to put 6 more points on the board for the Eagles here in the first quarter of play. 000 on the clock. In the first quarter, Jared Hollander set back to kick the extra point. Kick is up. And it's through the uprights. That's going to bring up 14 points for Marjorie Stoneman Douglas here in the first quarter of play. 000 on the clock, and we thank you for joining us here from HSPNsports.com. Ryan Stout bringing you all the action here tonight from James M. Caldwell Stadium here in Coral Springs, Florida. A beautiful night, a little spritz in the air, but you can't ask for a better pig bowl. Nice and muddy, dirty on the ground. Hey, offenses are still taking a chance in the air. As you can see, Daquan Bailey-Brown and Goodman are just going to connect so well in the back of the end zone. It's going to be a corner route. Plenty of room for Daquan to get his feet in. Just the Midas touch for Goodman. At HSPN Sports is the handle, folks. We thank you for your support on Twitter and those that have joined us from Twitter Nation. We'll get a chance here in a second to check out the Twitter feed and see what's going on. Hollander back to kick once again from the kickoff team. 14-7 is the score here in Colts Stadium. That's going to start off the second quarter of play. Douglas leads by 7. Hollander back to kick. And it's a high end over end. A little slip on the turf by the returner, but he's going to come up with a decent return on the play. Matt Cabey, number 6, one of the impact players, is the returner. And once again, impact players Matt Cabey is Douglas impact player. Impact players for the Colts. Stubbs at the running back position. Kaplan, quarterback. Fearon, and Ferdinand. Back to live action. Colts, Kaplan, he's going to roll out to the far side of the field, see what he can do with his arm. And it's going to throw it just outside the reach of the intended wide receiver. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 situation. Looks to be on their own 27-yard line. 2nd and 10 once again. That starts us off first play of the second quarter. Once again, 14-7, Douglas leads. Kaplan alongside a pistol formation in the backfield. He's going to give it up to his running back, and it's going to be a short gain, if any, for the Colts. Not much of a push for the Colts offensive line. That's going to bring up a 3rd down situation for the Colts. Looking for the stick here, and maybe a gain of 1. That's going to be a 3rd and 9 situation. Kaplan alongside his running back. They're going to fake the option read and dump it off to a little slip screen to the near side. Wide receiver is going to be stopped way well short of the 1st down. Going to bring up a 4th down situation for the Eagles. And a lot of frustration out of the Colts offense. Special teams unit makes their way out onto the field. Colts looking to give it back to the Eagles. 10:36 on the clock. 14-7 is the score. Douglas leads the way. Daquan Bailey-Brown, number 10 for the Eagles, back to receive the punt. Snap is low, but it gets back there. Very close to being blocked. That could be an issue tonight. A short high kick, but end over end, it's going to give them a decent bounce and roll. They're going to bring it out to Douglas' own 38-yard line. Once again, Tyler Goodman leading the charge for the Eagles offense. As you can see in the camera right now, got 2 big-time offensive linemen. Nick Weber, number 62, and Corey Gaynor, number 74. Joined by that outstanding offense tonight, putting 2 scores on the board. Just overall impact players for the Eagles tonight. Trent Baldeo, Riley Allison, Alex Cadellis, and Matt Cabey. I formation for the Eagles. Doubles wide receiver set to the far side. They're going to give it up to Allison just inside of the tackle, and it's going to be a big gain by Allison on that first down. We're going to see where the spot is and if they get a first down. Doesn't look like they're going to get the first down, but it's going to be a second and maybe inches for the Eagles. Doubles wide receiver set to the far side of the field. Goodman's going to send Allison in motion to the far side, going to bring up trips. They're going to give it up to the fullback once again. And he's just going to plow his way through the Colts defense with a decent game on that second down situation. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. On the Colts 45-yard line. They're going to take a timeout, and folks, as they take a timeout, we are too going to take a timeout. Ryan Stout bringing you the action here. We will be right back. And that's going to bring us back to live action. Taking a quick timeout, water break for both teams. 1st and 10 once again from the Colts 45-yard line. 14-7 is the score. Douglas leads the way. 9:24 on the clock. High formation for the Eagles. Goodman's going to keep it on the ground once again. Riley Allison is the running back, and he's going to plow his way through the Colts defense. A decent gain on the play. That's going to bring up a second down and 3 for the Eagles. Making their way into the Colts territory. Once again, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's just a little sprinkle coming from the sky. It's been raining all day out here. Typical situation. Umbrellas are out for both parties. And that ball is soaking wet. Goodman up under center. I formation, and we're going to get whistles blown. You saw it just as good as I did. And that's going to be Excuse me, that's going to be a delay of game. Was not an offsides. It was a delay of game. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty on the quarterback. Second and long situation for the Eagles. Second and about 7. High formation once again. Goodman is going to drop back to pass it this time. He's going to have to move around in the pocket. He's going to let it go to his wide receiver. Just outside of the reach once again. Did a great job of maneuvering in the pocket and finding the open wide receiver. And once again, just outside of the reach. And when you're throwing it off balance, you can't expect too much with a wet ball as well. So 8:23 on the clock. It's going to bring up a third down situation here for the Eagles. Third and 7 for the Eagles. Goodman going to be in the shotgun position. 4 wide receivers for the Eagles, and penalty flag. And that's going to be on the Colts. Encroachment call on the Colts. Positive yards for the Eagles, but not enough to bring up the first down. We're going to see if they're going to get a change in play call here, because that's going to move the sticks, going to bring up a third and a long 3. And they're going to keep the 4 wide receivers set outside. Goodman's going to walk his way up under center. Riley Allison, the single set in the backfield. And it's going to be tipped up. Goodman's going to try and get it out to the slot wide receiver to the near side of the field. And they're going to get a hand on it at the defensive line. It's going to bring up a 4th down situation. And looking to see if they're going to bring out special teams. And it doesn't look to, they're going for it, folks. 4th and a long 3 for the Eagles. They got the beef package in. 2 fullbacks in the game. Riley Allison in the backfield. And it's going to be a short gain and just over the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up first down. Oh, maybe. Don't quote me now, folks. Proving me wrong once again. That was not a first. Inside the first down marker. That's going to bring up a turnover on downs for the Eagles. Colts take over in their own territory. Second quarter of play, 8:17 on the clock. 14-7 on the scoreboard. Eagles still lead in this game. Kaplan alongside the single running back. 4 wide receivers set, stacked. They're going to throw a quick screen out to the far side of the field. The wide receiver's shaky, but not enough for a big gain. Looking at the ref. Going to be a short gain on the play. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and maybe a 7 situation. We're going to get the official spot here when they move the sticks. And that's going to be a 2nd and 6. Move the sticks forward. Double wide receiver set to both sides of the field. They're going to be stacked. And Kaplan going to throw the same pass, same play, back to back. And it looked to as he caught it and fell to the ground. Once again, turf, a little wet. That's going to bring up a 3rd down situation here for the Colts. .7:25 on the clock here in the second quarter. Colts offense makes their way to the line. Kaplan alongside the single running back. They're going to motion, and we're going to get a whistle. That's going to be a timeout for the Colts. Once again, 7:25 remaining in this first half of play. The Colts are going to take a timeout to regroup on this third down. Once again, watch HSPN all over the place. Bleacher.com. FloridaHighSchoolFootball.com. HighSchoolFootballAmerica.com. And FloridaGridironPreps.com. We thank you for joining us wherever you may be joining us from. Nationwide, regionally, locally. It's good to have you here on the broadcast. Week 6 of action for us here on HSPN Sports, and glad to bring you the action tonight from the Pig Bowl in Coral Springs, Florida. Give me a second here, folks. Going to get that Twitter feed going. And it's going to bring us back to live action. 3rd and a long 6 for the Colts. Trips to the near side of the field. Kaplan alongside his running back in the shotgun position. Kaplan's going to look to the near side, the trips, and he's going to be flooded by the Stoneman Douglas defensive line. And a big-time stop and big-time loss by the Colts. That's going to bring a 4th and very long situation here for the Colts. And that's going to send out the special teams unit. Number 10, Daquan Bailey-Brown for the Eagles. Back to return the punt. Punter from his own 15-yard line. It's going to be tipped, but just enough to be a decent punt for the Colts. They're going to mark it down on the Eagles' probably own 41-yard line.
One play resumes, first down, Eagles coming up.
Checking out the Twitter feed right now. Got some interesting things going on. Shout out to all our bloggers for streaming tonight's game. Got a lot of folks watching it from all over the nation. And as you already know, for those that have tuned in from Twitter, you can see that you're getting live updated scores from around the county, around South Florida. Everything's looking nice here on the Twitter feed. Have yet to see any shout-outs. And we got a couple of people watching it on the TV. Once again, these games are streamed courtesy of City TV for providing us a spotlight for these games. We're on Channel 99, Uverse. And folks, you can see on the Twitter feed right now at HSPN Sports. You can pull it up on the screen, the large screen, and watch the game. 6:29 on the clock here in the first half. 14-7, the Colts trail the Eagles. Goodman, he's going to hide it, and he's going to go up in the air with a short out pass. And I think it looks like Crisatelli, number 33 for the Eagles. It's going to be a short gain in what was thought. Got a penalty flag and to see what the call is here. Hold on, folks. It's going to be against the Colts for sure. Missed the call. I want to say it's roughing the quarterback.
That's a personal foul, roughing the passer penalty.
And that's going to be a personal foul against the Colts, roughing the passer.
Play resumes, it'll be Eagles ball.
That's going to bring up a first down and 10 for the Eagles in Colts territory. Clock is running. 6:18, 14-7. The Colts driving down the field on offense. Double wide receiver set to both sides of the field, and Goodman's going to line up under center. One running back in the backfield. Going to motion Daquan to the far side. It looks to be a speed sweep out to the far side of the field. Daquan Bailey Brown shifty, but just going to bring up a short gain on the play. Going to be a jet sweep for the Eagles. Daquan Bailey Brown. He's got the speed to get the outside, but huge disadvantage for our speedsters here tonight when it should be called the Muck Bowl, because it has not stopped raining yet. Regardless if it's a little sprinkle, it is a wet one tonight here, folks. 5:22 on the clock. 2nd and 8 for the Eagles. Goodman in the shotgun position. He's going to look to see downfield, and a comeback route to the far side of the field. They're going to mark it complete, and wide receiver's going to make it out of bounds. Big time gain, big time pass. That's going to bring up a first down and 10 for the Eagles in Colts territory.
For the Eagles, that'll bring up a first down and 10. Douglas coming up.
Doubles wide receiver set to both sides of the field. Ball's on the far hash. Goodman alongside his running back, Riley Allison. They're going to motion Daquan back to the far side of the field again. They're going to fake the speed sweep, but dish out a little option play to Allison. Allison's going to try and make his way up the field, and he's going to come up with a short gain. Maybe a two-yard gain for Allison. That's going to bring up a second down. Second down. Doubles wide receiver set to the far side. Goodman in the shotgun position. Goodman looks down the field. He's going to pass it. Looks to the near side. It's going to be a nice curl route to number 6, Matt Caby. It's going to be in and out of the hands of Caby. Incomplete. Going to bring up a third down situation here for the Eagles. 4:21 on the clock here in the first half of play. Correction on the yardage. 3rd and about 11 for the Eagles. Goodman's going to look to throw it. He's going to look down the field, a deep curl route, and it's just going to be outside the reach of the intended wide receiver. Ty Lito is the intended wide receiver. That's going to bring up a 4th down for the Eagles, and I don't see a special teams unit, folks. They're going to keep the wide receivers doubles to both sides of the field, and whistles are blown. Colts going to take a timeout. 4:14 remaining on the clock. Let's get to some impact players. Douglas Eagles. We got Baldeo, Allison, Caudelis, and Caby for the Eagles. For the Colts, Stubbs, Kaplan, Fearon, and Ferdinand. We want to thank those that made this broadcast possible tonight. Florida High School football. City News Magazine. M&L Insurance. Remax and Vantage Realty. And Premier Networking Alliance. We thank you for joining us tonight. We thank you for your support, as well as the student athletes and the Keeping Dreams Alive Foundation. Eagles offense make their way back out to the line of scrimmage. Once again, 4th and 11 is the proper yardage. 4:14 on the clock here in the first half. Doubles, wide receiver set to both sides. Goodman in the shotgun position. He's going to look to the far side of the field, and it's going to be a wheel route, and he's going to give Daquan Bailey-Brown a chance. He's going to go in and out of his hands of the wide receiver. Tough to say for the wide receiver. A wet ball, wet hands. But when your quarterback gives you a chance, you got to make a play. That's going to be turnover on downs for the Eagles. Let's bring the Colts offense back to the field. And his offense made a statement by driving it down the field, putting first points on the board, and have yet to see action since. Nate Stubbs is the running back. It's going to be a little screen play and a short gain, if any, on the play. 14-7 is the score. Colts still trail by 7. Second, and looks to be a 2nd and 10 situation. 3:35 on the clock left in the first half. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 8. Doubles wide receiver set. Kaplan's going to look to the near side of the field. Short slant, and it's going to be complete to the intended wide receiver. And it's going to be a big-time gain. Now turned into a 3rd and long situation. Crisatelli, number 33 for the Eagles, on the stop. 2:30 on the clock, and we have a flag on the play. Illegal motion charge for the offense. That's going to bring up a 4th down and long for the Colts. The special team unit makes their way onto the field for the Colts. Couple minutes left in the first half of play. 2:30 to be exact. 14-7 is the score. The Eagles lead. Daquan Bailey-Brown, number 10 for the Colts. It's going to bring Eagles out with a 1st down and 10 from their own 20. Once again, Twitter feed is active. At HSPN Sports is the Twitter handle. At HSPN Sports is the Twitter handle. Hit us up, any shout-outs locally, regionally, nationally. We want to hear where you're joining us from. If you are rooting anybody on out here on the field tonight. But ultimately, we thank you for joining us and following us at HSPN Sports. Eagles lead the way. Goodman joined alongside his running back, Riley Allison, in the backfield. It's going to be a draw right up the middle. Allison's going to find a gaping hole and come up with a huge gain and a 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Once again, impact players for tonight for the Eagles: Trent Baldeo, Riley Allison, Alex Cadellis, and Matt Cavey. Eagles take the line. Goodman up under center. He's going to look to the near side of the field. A quick pass. And that is to Jamal Polycarp, number 7, the wide receiver. And what looked to be him taking a knee after the catch, it actually went in and out of the hands. That's going to be incomplete for the Eagles. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10 situation. for Goodman. Goodman back alongside his running back. Doubles wide receiver set to both sides of the field. Goodman is going to look down the field. It's going to be a screen to his fullback, and they're going to find some field to work with. Fullback is going to back and forth, but it's going to be a big-time gain by the Eagles. Once again, folks, rain falling from the sky. May not be big droplets, but just enough to put that thorn in your side. We got a flag on the play. And what seemed to be a big gain is now going in the opposite direction. That's going to be a holding penalty against the Eagles. 1:30 left on the clock here in the first half of play. 14-7 is the score. And that's going to bring the Eagles way back into their own territory. Once again, we thank you for joining us here tonight on HSPNSports.com. Ryan Stout bringing you the action here from James M. Caldwell Stadium. We're here in Colts Stadium, here at the Pig Bowl in Coral Springs, Florida. Douglas, second and forever. Goodman's going to drop back. He's going to look to the far side of the field. And the slant to Daquan Bailey Brown is going to be in and out of his hands. That's going to bring a third down. And if I could throw a guess out here in terms of yardage, I would say third down and maybe 23, 24. Pass was incomplete. 1:22 on the clock. Getting ready to exit this first half. And we have another penalty flag on the play. That's going to be a holding call against the defense. And it's going to move them forward just enough to bring them up to a second down and 11 for the Eagles. Goodman, once again in the shotgun position, joined by his running back, Allison. He's going to look to the far side of the field, let it go. Wide receiver's going to be wide open. That's going to be Daquan Bailey Brown. He's going to try and shake off a defender or two, but going to come short of the first down marker. And another flag on the play. That's going to be another holding call. Back and forth here. A lot of laundry on the ground. They're going to walk it back. Once again. Just when you thought things were moving forward on the offense. 1:12 on the clock here in the first half. Left in the first half. 14-7 on the board. It's going to bring up a second and only God knows. And forever. Goodman with a double wide receiver set. They're going to motion Daquan to the near side of the field. They're going to reverse it, give it off to Riley Allison at the running back position. It's going to be a decent game, but still way short of the first down. Eagles going to take another timeout. 1:01 on the clock. 1:01 on the clock. Watch HSPN all over the place, folks. Bleacher.com, we thank you for streaming us tonight, as well as FloridaHSFootball.com, HighSchoolFootballAmerica.com, and FloridaGridironPreps.com. Once again, we're here at the Pig Bowl. If you don't know what the Pig Bowl is, it's a long rivalry matchup they've had here in Coral Springs against Douglas and Coral Springs. And they actually have a pig out here in the stadium as we speak. So at the end of this game, whoever the loser is, the losing principal has to give a big smooch to this little piglet. So long run rivalry for both these teams. This is also district play for both these teams. Goodman's going to take it on his own. Riley Allison's going to be his lead blocker. And that's going to be a huge gain. They're going to have a hard time taking him down. couple shoestring tackles, but that is going to be a huge gain for Goodman. Just going to follow Allison right up his back. And a great offensive line pushing their way through. That's going to bring up a first down. Believe it or not, what was a second and forever is now a first down and 10 in Colts territory. 51 seconds left on the clock. Can the Eagles put another point on the board? 14-7 here in the first half. Eagles lead it. Eagles going to take another timeout. As they take a timeout, we'll take some time to recognize those that made this broadcast possible tonight. Florida high school football. City News Magazine. M&L Insurance. Remax and Vantage Realty. And Premier Networking Alliance. We thank you for your support of HSPN Sports, the student athletes, and the Keeping Dreams Alive Foundation. Getting back here to live action. 1st and 10 from the Colts 40-yard line. Just under a minute left here in play. Goodman leading this offense tonight. In the shotgun position, he's going to take his chances in the air once again. He's going to look to the far side of the field, and the skinny post is just out of reach for his arm. And I wouldn't blame it solely on his arm strength. Remember, folks, it is raining out here tonight, so we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But that's going to be incomplete. 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. It's going to chew up 10 seconds. 41 seconds left on the clock. Doubles wide receiver set to the near side of the field. Or excuse me, doubles to both sides. Goodman, he's going to take the direct snap up the middle. And a big-time gain, he's going to hold on to the ball. And that's going to bring up another first down and 10, just creeping up into Colts territory. It's going to eat up another 9 seconds. 32 seconds left in this first half. 14-7. The Eagles trying to put some more points on the board. Doubles, wide receiver set. Goodman, he's going to look to the far side of the field. Hitch up a couple times, but way out of arm's reach of the wide receiver. And wide receiver, what looked from our angle was a slip, but we're going to have a penalty flag, and I want to say it's on the defender. Going to see what the call is here. That was a 1st and 10 situation for the Eagles. 22 seconds on the clock. And they're going to wave that penalty flag off. From our angle, folks, it looked as if the wide receiver just slipped on the wet turf, but I'm guessing the ref saw something different, but they agreed.
Penalty on the play, first down, Douglas, 22 seconds remaining.
That's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles. Goodman back in the shotgun position. He's going to give it off to the draw play. It's going to go to the far end of the field. Allison, he's going to stay on his feet, but not enough to get around the edge. And he's going to be brought down back in his own territory by the Colts defense. Third down for the Eagles. Timeout for the Eagles. 8 seconds left on the clock. Eagles have burned all their timeouts. 14-7 is the score. The Eagles lead the charge thus far in the game. A lot of running for both teams. Riley Allison is the running back of choice this evening for the Eagles. Nate Stubbs, the running back for the Colts. Both impact players for tonight's game. Surprised to see Douglas throwing the ball a little bit more, getting the confidence up of Goodman. We've seen him in past games. when it's dry outside. Missed some crucial passes, but completing some much-needed ones tonight in the air. But the most success for both sides of the ball has been in the running game. Goodman in the shotgun position by himself. He's going to look down the field. He's going to have an opportunity to throw it up to Daniel Criscitelli, and it's going to be batted down by the Colts defense. That's going to be the last play of the first half. 1 second left on the clock. And they're going to give him another shot. And folks, this is the time to tune in. If you don't have the screen up, they have brought out the field goal team. This is going to be a 52-yard attempt for Hollander with 1 second left here in the first half. Snaps back. Ball's up. It is just short of the uprights, folks. That's going to be no good. And caught by the Colts. Hollander gets a chance at 52 yards, and that's going to be no good. First field goal for the night for either team. Hollander just short of the uprights. Once again, we thank you for joining us here tonight on HSPNsports.com. Wherever you may be joining us from, we thank you for tuning in. At Bleacher, at Florida High School Football, at Florida Gridiron Preps or High School Football America, we thank you from wherever you are tuned in from. And we thank you for your support tonight. Here at this Pig Bowl, once again, a long-running rivalry here in Coral Springs between probably the two biggest schools in Coral Springs, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, the Eagles, and Coral Springs High School, the Colts. Kick off. God knows how many football games they have played against each other. But I want to say that the Eagles came out on top last season over the Colts, and the losing principal has to come out and kiss a pig. And that's what the Pig Bowl is about. Got a couple bowl games here in Coral Springs. The Swamp Bowl, Taravella, Coral Glades we saw last week. This week, the Pig Bowl. And then I want to say Coral Springs High and Taravella is the Mayor's Cup. So some great action from Coral Springs, some long-running traditions that they have here, and we're glad to be a part of it here on HSPNsports.com. Ryan Stout bringing you the action here from halftime. I'm not seeing a band, so we may just keep this camera running on an open field. But once again, folks, usually halftime we leave that spot open for the bands to be able to do their thing, but I'm not seeing any bands. And if we do, we make sure to get that visual experience for you. Once again, we're here in halftime. If you're just joining us now, 14-7 is the score. Both offenses putting up all the points tonight. Defense on both sides of the field doing all they can. Just long possessions for each offense. Riley Allison is the running back of choice for the Eagles. He's leading the way, most definitely with rushing yards today. He's one of our impact players tonight, as you can see, at the second spot. Alongside Trent Valdeo, Alex Cadellis, and Matt Caby, offense and defensive impact players for the Eagles. And joining those gentlemen tonight on the other side of the ball is the starting running back, Stubbs. Starting quarterback is Kaplan. And we got Fearon and Ferdinand also at those impact player positions. I want to give a shout out once again to those that made this broadcast possible tonight. That's Florida High School Football, City News Magazine, M&L Insurance, Remax and Vantage Realty, and Premier Networking Alliance. We thank you for the support of the broadcast tonight. HSPN Sports, as well as the Keeping Dreams Alive Foundation. See if we can get a shot for you. Got some time on the clock here in halftime. Don't think we'll get a shot of the camera, or excuse me, the scoreboard for you. Circle the field a couple times And once again, 13:54, 13 minutes on the clock for this halftime. As they take a break, we too will take a break. Here from HSPN Sports, Ryan Stout bringing you the action. Don't miss the second half of play here in the Pig Bowl in Coral Springs from James M. Caldwell Stadium. The Colts trail by 7. We'll be right back. Yeah, back to live action here from the Pig Bowl in Coral Springs. Ryan Stout bringing you the action. 14-7 on the scoreboard for Douglas Eagles. And a short kick. And, folks, he's going to find a crease and more. Number 16 for the Eagles is going to pick the ball up off the ground. What seemed to be a big stop for the Colts on the kickoff. Misread what this receiving team is all about. They're running those chains hard down the field, folks. And we're bringing you back to live action here in the second half of play. Once again, 14-7 is on the scoreboard here at the Pig Bowl in Coral Springs. Broadcasting live from James M. Caldwell Stadium for the Colts. Douglas Eagles, 1st and 10 in Colts territory. Goodman going to keep it on the ground once again. Riley Allison, one of the impact players for tonight's game, leading the charge for this Eagles offense tonight. Last time we brought you live action, the Eagles had possession down in Colts territory. Hollander, they brought out the kicker with a 52-yard attempt, and he was maybe yards short. With a wet ball, I applaud the young man. Back to live action, 2nd down, and they're going to give it up to Riley Allison once again to the near side of the field, and he's going to come up with a big gain and a 1st down for the Eagles in their first possession of the second half. 11:05 on the clock for the Eagles, 1st and 10 in Colts territory. Once again, we thank you for joining us here tonight, and unfortunately didn't have much of a halftime show for you. Usually the band comes out and does their thing, but I guess with a little rain, we lost him. And that's going to be just a direct snap right up the middle. Quarterback is just going to plow his way for another 1st down and 10 for the Eagles. Making a statement here tonight on the ground, the running game. Riley Allison is the running back of choice for the Eagles. Tyler Goodman's got some completions in the air. 14 points for the Eagles. And they're going to keep it on the ground once again to the near side. Allison's going to go off tackle just inside the 10-yard line. And it looks like they're going to spot Allison maybe at the 7-8 yard line. That's going to bring up a 2nd down. 2nd down and probably 5 for the Eagles. Big shout out to the Colts home stadium for being so gracious enough to bring up some food to the announcers and yours truly. So got a quick halftime snack. Big shout out to the Colts and the young ladies that brought that food up here. Back to live action. Riley Allison is the running back again. He's going to make it down the field just inside of the 10-yard line. Allison is going to find a crease and make his way into the touchdown. 6 points on the board for the Eagles. Just inside of the Colts' 10-yard line. 9:39 on the clock. That puts 20 points on the board for the Eagles. Hollander out for the extra point. Back for the extra point. Eagles have 20 points to 7 on the board. Hollander back to kick. Kick is up. And folks, it is through the uprights. 21 points on the board here in the second half of play. 9 minutes on the clock here in the third quarter. Douglas striking first blood here in the second half. They came out and received. Now they're back to kick it off. Once again, both teams establishing the running game early in this game. Coral Springs Colts first to score. First to put points on the board. Kyle Kaplan, Nate Stubbs taking it down the field. And have not seen any momentum yet from the Colts after that touchdown. At HSPN Sports is the Twitter handle. At HSPN Sports is the handle. You can find all the action, live scores, updates, everything going on here around Broward County, South Florida. Impact players for the Eagles tonight: Trent Baldeo, Allison Caldelis, and Matt Cavey. And on the other side, the Colts, we got Stubbs, Kaplan, Fearon, and Fernandez. Jared Hollander for the Eagles back to kick. 21-7 on the board. Hollander, it's up end over end. It's going to be a short one for him tonight. Colts are going to reverse field, and there's going to be a penalty flag. Flag on the play once again. And it looks they're going to mark the ball at the Colts on maybe 21, 22-yard line. And they're going to have a block in the back call by the receiving team. Ref's going to walk the ball back deep into the Colts territory. The Colts, led by Kyle Kaplan on the offensive side, make their way out for their first possession of this second half. Kaplan in this offense trying to establish the passing game after their first score. He's going to be alongside two running backs in the backfield. It's going to be a little pop pass out to the far side of the field to the receiver, and it's going to be a decent gain on the play. Once again, Nate Stubbs, one of the impact players, alongside his quarterback, Kyle Kaplan, will lead the charge tonight, probably with most yards. Nate Stubbs leading the way with most rushing yards for the Colts. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 situation here for the Colts in their own territory. Kaplan alongside his running back. He's going to throw a pop pass back out to the far side of the field. Wide receiver is going to be wide open. A big-time hit out of bounds, but Colts come up with a first down. Their first down of this possession here in the second half. They're going to bring him down. Ezekiel Leclerc, number 99, is the defender that brought him down. 9:10 on the clock. 21-7 is the score. Eagles lead. Colts offense take the line. Kaplan in the shotgun position alongside his running back, Nate Stubbs. Kaplan looks to the far side of the field once again. 3 plays in a row. We get the pop pass. Just a quick screen to the outside, and it's going to be complete and a short gain again. Hey, run it until they stop it. So I guess that's the mentality offense coordinator has right now. Kaplan makes his way back out to the huddle. And the sticks from here say 2nd and about 8 for the Colts. Once again, that stack doubles wide to the near side, or the far side of the field, I should say. Kaplan's going to give it up. A quick read, option read, to his running back, and he's going to be stopped short of the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up a 3rd down situation. See where they mark the ball off for you. It's going to bring him back to the original spot. Colts are faced with a 3rd and 10 situation. 8:33 on the clock. Doubles wide receiver set, single to the near side of the field. Kaplan alongside his running back. They're going to motion the slot wide receiver back to the near side. Kaplan's going to look down the middle of the field. A quick pop pass was intended to his wide receiver. He's got his arms stretched out looking for the penalty call, and that's going to come up incomplete for the Colts. And a very frustrated sideline and offense not receiving the penalty that they wanted. Once again, rain still coming from the sky. Weather has been relentless here tonight in South Florida. It's been raining since early afternoon. Special teams unit going to take the field for the Colts. Daquan Bailey Brown is back to receive. 21-7 on the scoreboard. 8:09 on the clock here in the third quarter of play. Snap is back. It is muffed. Folks, he's going to be brought down way, way back into their own territory. Wet ball, folks. It is a tough situation here for the Colts defense. You're putting their backs up against the wall. Eagles offense is going to take the field. And it's going to be first and goal situation for the Eagles deep into Colts territory. 8:00 on the clock. Goodman and his offense take the field. First and goal situation once again. Last time they were in this, or had this field position, Riley Allison, the running back, is going to take it off tackle into the end zone. Let's see if they can repeat that here. Two running backs in the backfield. Waiting on the white hat. Coach is having a little conversation, I guess. Douglas in position to put 6, 7 more points on the board. And we have another foul on the play. Penalty. Dead ball, personal foul against the Colts. That's going to be half the distance to the goal line from the spot of the ball. First and goal. And from here it looks like they're about on their 5. The Colts maybe 4-yard line. Goodman up under center. He's going to try it on his own this time. And it's going to be a big time stop. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 jerseys on the starting quarterback. With a big time line, they're looking for a big time push. It's going to bring up second and goal for the Eagles. 2 running back set. They're going to motion the full back to the near side of the field. They're going to do a quick toss to Riley Allison. He's going to make his first move and plow his way through the defense. And folks, that's another touchdown on the board. 6 points for the impact running back. Eagles 26, Colts 7. Extra point on the way. Special teams unit led by Hollander takes the field here in this third quarter. 7:16 on the clock, and the running game is relentless tonight for the Eagles, led by Riley Allison. Hollander back for the extra point. Snap is back, kick is up. And folks, it is through the uprights. 27 points on the board for the Eagles here in the Pig Bowl. Looking to keep the streak alive here at the Pig Bowl tonight. Here in Coral Springs, James M. Caldwell Stadium. The Colts host the annual Pig Bowl. At the end of this game, a principal will be kissing a piglet. Yes, a principal will be kissing a pig tonight, folks. Not the biggest turnout for these games due to weather situations. As you can see, the Pig Bowl has definitely revealed itself on the field. You can see the field showing its true colors in the rain, and that is mud. Both teams established their running game tonight. We have really yet to see the Colts take advantage of the momentum they had starting this football game. The Colts came out on their first possession and put up the first 7 points of the game. A couple big-time plays. Nate Stubbs leading the way in the running back position. Kyle Kaplan, quarterback for the Colts, driving them down the field, but have yet to see any sign of points from the Colts. Back to receive. The Colts. A decent kick and a decent opening for the receiving team. A couple moves, but not enough to break free, but it's going to be decent field position for the Colts offense. 7:04 on the clock. 27-7 is the score here for the Pig Bowl. Once again, we want to express our thanks to those that made this broadcast possible tonight. Florida High School Football, City News Magazine, M&L Insurance, Remax and Vantage Realty, and Premier Networking Alliance. Back to live action. They're going to keep it on the ground this time to the running back, Nate Stubbs. Helmet comes off, and they are going to blow the whistle dead. Tough to get him down. But that's going to be a no gain, maybe a loss on the play. And it looks they're just going to call it a no game. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10 situation here for the Colts. Kaplan makes his way out to the huddle. Colts defense staying true to what they do best here tonight, and is to stop that running game. Kaplan back, gives it off to Stubbs to the near side of the field. He's going to make his way around the outside, and it's going to be a short gain for the Colts. And the white cap is going to take some time. 3rd down situation here for the Colts. 3rd and a long 5 for Kaplan and his offense. Clock is running. .45 on the clock and counting here in this 3rd quarter of play. A bunch set on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Trips a bunch to the near side of the field, and we got some whistles blown. And the Eagles are going to take a timeout. As they take a timeout, we will take some time to recognize those that made this broadcast go viral tonight. Bleacher.com, Florida High School Football, FloridaHSFootball.com, FloridaGridironPreps.com, and HighSchoolFootballAmerica.com. Thank you for making this game go viral tonight here in Coral Springs, the Pig Bowl. Bringing you the action every week and streaming these games every week. Last week, had a chance to feature 2 local high schools, Taravella and Coral Glades, in the annual Swamp Bowl. Featured at the Sportsplex in Coral Springs. Glad we could produce that game for the young men. Glad we can follow them throughout the season. I'm glad we can help all these schools here in Coral Springs this season. Once again, at HSPN Sports is the Twitter handle. You can hit us up at any point during the broadcast, even post-broadcast. Shout-outs, live scores, comments, concerns, we take them. Kaplan back in the shotgun position. Pistol. And they're going to give it off to Stubbs. Excuse me, that's not Stubbs. It's number 10 for Coral Springs. It's going to be a short gain, if any. And 4th down situation. 4th and a long 5 once again for the Colts. 5-0-0 on the clock and running. Colts offense takes the line. Trips to the far side of the field. Kaplan alongside his running back. He's going to take the snap from the shotgun position. He's going to let it rip. It's going to be way short for the intended wide receiver. What seemed to be a quick out turned into an incomplete pass. It's going to be turnover on downs. Eagles are going to take over with great field position. That's dangerous, very dangerous for this Colts defense. The Eagles have definitely caught on to some momentum here in the 2nd half. Coach May getting those guys right during halftime. Riley Allison, definitely the standout athlete of tonight's game. 4:40 on the clock and counting here in the 3rd quarter of play. 28-7 is the score. Impact players for tonight's game. On the Douglas side, Baldeo, Allison, Caldes, and KB. For the Colts, you got Stubbs, Kaplan, Fearon, and Ferdinand. Those are the impact players for this evening's game. Goodman and the Eagles offense take the field on a 1st and 10. They're going to motion Riley out to the far side of the field. Goodman's going to give it off to his fullback once again. And that's going to be a decent gain on the play. And that's going to be number 35, Brandon Huff, on the carry. Number 35, you've seen him all night. Making plays. And once again, Goodman up under center. He's going to give it off to a new running back. And there's going to be a fumble on the play, folks. Goodman's going to try and tackle him. Colts are going to come up with the football. And on 1st down and a turnover on downs, the first time tonight, the Eagles cough up the ball. And it was a new running back in the game. Was not Allison, but a new running back in the game. I believe it was number 8. And from the Colts' 37-yard line, Kaplan and his offense take the field with hopefully a little momentum. 1st and 10. Doubles wide receiver set, that stack situation for the Colts. Kaplan is peeping out there, but he's going to give it off to his running back. He's going to take it to the near side of the field. It's going to be a short gain, but enough for positive yardage. Number 99, Ezekiel Leclerc, is going to bring down and you can't see it from here, but we have a student athlete down on the field. And as they take a break, we too will take a break. And once again, folks, have an injured Colt down on the field. And that fumble was, I believe, number 8 for the Eagles, Clarence Burley. The running back stepped in for Allison. I want to say it was his first carry and coughed it up. Eagles, no doubt, still have the momentum in this game. 3:45 left in this third quarter. And I hear some applause from the stands. And that means the young athlete is up, back on his feet. Colts offense take the field after a turnover. Once again, Eagles coughed up the ball on 1st and 10 in Colts territory. Kaplan trying to get things going. Trips to the near side of the field. Colts offense have yet to see the touchdown since the first quarter. Kaplan in the shotgun position. He's going to look to the near side. He's not going to have enough time to get it off and going to be swallowed up in the backfield by number 43 for the Eagles. And that's going to be Nick DeFrocia on the stop in the backfield. Just going to swallow up Kaplan. Thought he had a little more time but not enough. Third down situation and 8 for the Colts. The rain has stopped. Kaplan once again in the shotgun position. Offsides big time by the wide receiver to the far side of the field. False start for the offense. That's going to be a repeat of third down. 3rd and 14 for the Colts. Douglas looking to get this ball back. 28-7 on the scoreboard. Eagles still lead. 2:59 on the clock. Motion to the far side of the field. Kaplan in the shotgun position. He's going to fake it to the running back and dump it off to a quick screen out to the far side of the field. Wide receiver's going to find a seam. And a standout play by a standout player. That's going to bring up a 1st and 10 situation, crossing into Eagles territory. The Colts may be onto something. 2:47 on the clock in the third quarter. First down from Douglas's 45-yard line. Kaplan gets the snap. He's going to give it off to his running back, and he's going to be met quickly in the backfield. Number 20 is the defender. It's going to be a big-time stop by the Eagles. We've seen number 20 a couple times tonight and on the stop. And number 20 is Robbie Rodriguez, the junior linebacker. Second down and long. And when I mean long, it is 15 yards long. Situation for the Colts. Kaplan once again in the shotgun position. Doubles wide receiver set to both sides, and they're stacked. Kaplan's going to take a direct snap to the middle of the field. Helmet comes off. And excuse me, I believe it is their new quarterback. Or it was number 11 for the Colts. Stepped in for Kaplan for a direct snap. And that's going to bring up a third down, still long situation. 3rd and about 13 for the Colts. Kaplan back at the quarterback position. Trips to the far side of the field. Kaplan's going to look to the trip side, and it's going to be deflected off the hands of a Douglas defender. And pass is going to come up incomplete on 3rd and long. Special teams unit takes the field once again. Colts looking to pin Douglas back deep in their own territory here on this 4th down. 1:06 on the clock, approaching that 4th quarter of play, folks. 28-7 still on the scoreboard. Eagles lead the way. Daquan Bailey-Brown, number 10, back to receive the punt. Snap is back. Once again, it is muffled. It's going to be end over end and a decent punt, I'd say. Able to get it off, even with a bobbled snap. There's going to be a flag on the play. And it's going to be the far side of the field. Let's see if we can capture it on camera. There's the white cap. And that's going to be a false start on the punting team. Or excuse me, illegal formation on the punt team. 1-0-0 on the clock. And I think special teams unit is going to have another try at it. Fourth down and very long. Close to 4th and 20. Daquan Bailey Brown, number 10, still back to receive the punt. Snap a lot better this time. Very close to being blocked, but got the ball off, and it's going to bounce backwards. And the Eagles offense are going to come up with some better field position this time around. 49 seconds on the clock. 28-7 is the score here in the Pig Bowl in Coral Springs, Florida. Broadcasting live from James M. Caldwell Stadium. Bringing you the action here on HSPNSports.com. Once again, the Twitter feed is active at HSPN Sports. You can hit us up. Check out live scores, updates all around the county. Eagles offense led by Tyler Goodman tonight. And starting running back Riley Allison. Number 5, Allison back in the game this time. Not going to make the same mistake twice. He was not the one that fumbled it, but they're getting him back in. Goodman, they're going to stretch it to the outside of the field. They're going to give it up to Riley Allison one more time. It's going to be a short gain. Maybe a gain of 1, 2 on the play. We'll see where the sticks end up. Second down, 37 seconds on the clock. The Colts not finding too much success since their first score early in the first quarter. Trying to see what they can do on defense here. Goodman's going to motion Riley to the far side of the field. He becomes a wide receiver. Goodman's going to drop back to pass. And right before he's hit, he gets the ball off to a wide open wide receiver. And he's probably got the cleanest jersey on the football field. And we have a penalty. Number 88. And that's going to be a holding penalty, folks. My goodness. A tough situation for the Eagles. Number 80 is the wide receiver, and you can just see the way he's walking back. A ton of frustration for the Eagles offense. Probably the best we've seen Goodman yet this season. In the air, number 80 is Nick Longley, the senior wide receiver. And Goodman's just going to right over just the Midas touch. He's going to complete the ball, and Nick's going to bring up a huge gain, but it's going to go all the way back. 0-0-0 on the clock. We're heading into the fourth quarter of play here in Coral Springs. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas still leads 28 to the Colts 7 points. Colts have yet to see the scoreboard since the first quarter. Literally the first quarter, first possession, the Colts came out on fire, led by Kyle Kaplan and Nate Stubbs, and put first points on the board. Eagles with 28 unanswered points. And a new quarterback in the game. Number 12. He's going to try and roll out to the far side of the field and not going to find anybody open. Number 12 is Daniel Grusky, the senior quarterback, 6 foot, 182 pounds. They're going to rotate, and I think now they're going to change the quarter. So it was 000 on the clock. They got the penalty, and they gave him one more play. So we're going on the other end of the field with a new quarterback. Number 12, Daniel Grusky, is the new quarterback in for Tyler Goodman. 28 points on the board. A very comfortable lead for the Eagles here in this fourth quarter of play. We're going to kick things off right here in the fourth quarter. The Eagles offense, very consistent tonight is the word I'd use. Very consistent in terms of their running game and their ability to move the ball. The time of possession has been outstanding for Douglas tonight. Even even for the Colts as well. They've held on to the ball, quite a bit. But in terms of converting into points, that's where they are lacking tonight. So Eagles offense take the field for one more quarter under new leadership, Daniel Grusky. One of the cleanest jerseys on the field. Once again, the Pig Bowl showing its true colors after a good long rain all day has turned into the Muck Bowl. But that doesn't stop any of these teams from throwing the ball tonight. Trying to get the chains lined up. It's going to be a third and very long situation for the Eagles and a tough situation for the backup quarterback. Want to put some pressure on someone. Now's the time to do it. And they're going to do a quick shovel pass to Crisatelli, number 33, down to the far side of the field. And that's going to be a big-time gain, but not enough for the first down. It's going to bring up a fourth down situation for the Eagles. Let's see what Coach May has in store for us. 11:40 on the clock and counting. Fourth down situation, and I want to say this is the first time we've seen the punting squad for the Eagles take the field. Punter lined up, heels on his own 18-yard line, maybe 19. Waits for the snap. Riley Allison in the backfield, protecting. It's a decent snap, and the kick is up. It's high. It's end over end. And they got a great bounce out of it. 3 Eagles down the ball, back into the Colts territory. That's going to bring up a first down with Kyle Kaplan and his offense. 10:46 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. 28-7 is still on the scoreboard. The Eagles lead the way here in this Pig Bowl. Once again, we thank you for joining us here tonight from wherever you may be joining us from. Bleacher.com, Florida High School Football, FloridaHSFootball.com, FloridaGridironPreps.com, and HighSchoolFootballAmerica.com. We thank you from wherever you joined us tonight, and we thank our streamers for making this game go viral. Running back right up the middle, and a big push by the offensive line, and they're going to have to blow the whistle because they can't get him down.
Robinson, the ball carrier, stop on the play, gives to number 3, Trent Valdale. Coral Springs High School would like to thank Coral Springs Commissioner Larry Vignola for attending tonight's game. We appreciate your support at Coral Springs High School.
Second down for the Colts.
Thank you, Commissioner Larry Vignola.
2nd and 6 for Kaplan and his offense. He lines up side by side with his running back. He's going to fake the quick draw. Got enough time to roll around. He's shifty back here, folks, but he's going to dump the ball off, my goodness, in the hands, possible, of the Eagles. And it looks like the Eagles come up with the ball, folks. Kaplan is just going to lay it on the ground, trying to make an athletic move in the backfield. And he's just going to lay it down on the ground. Not sure if it's too wet. Not sure if it got punched out. All we know is the Eagles offense take advantage of this field position. Daniel Grusky leading the charge at the quarterback position. .950 on the clock. One running back in the backfield. We're going to go trips to the far side of the field. Grusky is going to line up under center. First time we've seen Grusky in the game. They're going to give it up to the running back, number 24, just outside of the tackle. It's going to be a decent gain by the backup running back. Once again, that's number 24. Melvins Mattil, the senior running back. Second
Second down, Douglas.
and about a yard for the Eagles, deep in the Colts territory. Drusky under center. He's going to give it up to Mattil once again, and he's going to power his way through the Colts defense. He's not taking no for an answer, folks. Mattil is looking to get into the end zone. That's going to bring them just inside, I believe, the Colts' own 5-yard line. Clock still running. 8:50 and counting. Douglas on the verge of putting more points on the board. Daniel Grusky once again up under center. Trips to the near side of the field. They're going to give it to Mattil once again, and we're looking for a sign. And we got a touchdown for the Eagles. Number 24, Melvins Mattil, is in for his first touchdown for the night for the Eagles. That brings up 34 points for the Eagles here in this Pig Bowl. And folks, I don't want to say anything too soon, but we might have to call this one early tonight. 34 points on the board, and Hollander makes his way out to the field for the extra point.
Jared Hollander enters at the extra point.
Snaps back. It's up. And it's good, folks. We got 35 points on the board for the Eagles here tonight in this Pig Bowl in Coral Springs. James M. Caldwell Stadium is hosting the Coral Springs Colts and the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Eagles in their annual Pig Bowl. Once again, if you're just joining us here tonight, 35-7. Douglas, a very comfortable lead here in this football game. Very consistent throughout the night. The 7 points made by the Colts were on their first possession in the first quarter, and they have yet to see the end zone since. Game's not over yet. 8:29 on the clock. We thank you for joining us here from HSPNsports.com. Every week bringing you the action here from Coral Springs, Florida. Last week was the Swamp Bowl. This week is the Pig Bowl. Got a lot of bowl games here in Coral Springs. At HSPN Sports is the Twitter handle. We hope that you follow us and everything that's going on throughout the week. Currently, live scores and updates, as you can see. Everything that's going on around the county, around the south region of Florida, and throughout the state. At HSPN Sports is the handle. The kicking team for Douglas makes their way out to the field. Led by Hollander. Colts back to receive with 8:29 here in the fourth quarter. Hollander back to kick. Kicks up. Nice and deep, end over end. They're going to reverse field. The Colts with a big-time gain. Little trickery in the backfield. 8:18 on the clock, and we have a player down. First and 10 situation here for Kaplan and his offense. Once again, impact players for tonight's game. Trent Baldeo, Riley Allison, Alex Cadellis, and Matt Caby on the Douglas side. And for the Colts, Stubbs, Kaplan, Fearon, and Ferdinand. Just 8 impact players of many that are being featured right now here on the broadcast. Kaplan once again with the doubles wide receiver set in his own territory. We're going to bring it first 10. He's going to look to the near side of the field. A little miscommunication. And what seemed to be a slant pattern, he throws the hitch. Incomplete. Bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Colts.
I'll bring up a second down, Colts.
Second down, 8:05 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Trips to the near side of the field. Kaplan in the shotgun position alongside his running back. He gets a snap. He's looking down the field. He's looking to the trip side. The corner route was wide open, but looks like it was deflected at the line.
Flag on the play.
There's going to be a flag on the play. Going to see what the penalty is here. Not seeing a signal. Not sure what happened here, folks, but that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 situation for the Colts offense. Doubles wide receiver set. They're going to motion slot man to trips. Kaplan, he's going to look to the single wide receiver set. And that's going to come up incomplete once again. Pass intended for the single set wide receiver. And that's going to bring up a 4th and 10 situation. And once again, the special teams unit takes the field for the Colts. .7:38 on the clock. 35-7 is the score. Daquan Bailey-Brown back to return. The punt is up. It's high and long. Daquan going to have a chance to pick it up, and he does. Deep into his own territory. He picks it up with a short gain. Daquan's going to be stopped at his own 44-yard line. Eagles offense going to take the field once again here in this fourth quarter. 35 points on the board for the Eagles, and they're rotating guys. Always a good sign. Got some clean white jerseys out on the field. Get them a little action in this Pig Bowl. And as they take a timeout, we too will take a timeout and recognize those that made this broadcast possible tonight. Florida High School football. City News Magazine. M&L Insurance. Remax and Vantage Realty. And Premier Networking Alliance. We thank you for your support of HSPN Sports as well as the Keeping Dreams Alive Foundation. We're spotlighting these student athletes tonight and all of the effort that they put forth to being better student athletes. Once again, here in the fourth quarter of play, 35-7 is the score. The Eagles with a very comfortable lead here in this year's Pig Bowl. At the end of this game, from the looks of it, we're going to see the principal of Coral Springs High School give probably a big smooch to a little piglet that's in the stadium right now. Once again, it was raining early in this game, just a sprinkle, but just enough to really put a thorn in someone's side and bothersome. So rain's finally stopped, but that doesn't change the field conditions. As you can see, the Pig Bowl showing its true colors in the form of what I would call a muck bowl. Play resumes here in this 1st and 10. Back in their own territory. Grusky at the quarterback position. Number 8, new running back. He's going to take it off tackle to the far side of the field. And he looks like he's going to pick up a good 5 yards. Want to say that's maybe one of a couple carries for the new running back tonight. Want to make sure I'm getting the number right. Want to say it's number 2, Tyshawn Cruz, the senior running back. And folks, we have a player down. Once again, we thank you for joining us tonight from wherever you may be joining us from. Bleacher.com, Florida High School Football, FloridaHSFootball.com, FloridaGridironPreps.com, and HighSchoolFootballAmerica.com. Thank you for streaming these games tonight and making them go viral. As you can see in the corner of the screen, player's going to make his way off the field, slow and steady, but he's doing it on his own, which is a positive sign. Whistles are blown, back to live action. 6:56 on the clock here in the fourth quarter of play. Colts defense trying to hold on to an offense that has been extremely consistent tonight in putting points on the board. Led by quarterback Tyler Goodman and running back Riley Allison. A couple other names you can throw out there. Brandon Huff, number 35. Daniel Crisatelli. Daquan Bailey-Brown. Some of the many names that have produced these points tonight. Can't forget about the line. Corey Gaynor, Nick Weber. And Grusky's going to keep it on his own. Faked us out a little bit. Thought he'd give it up to the running back. Courtney Douglas on the line as well. And others that can't think of the names at the top of my head. But a great offense by the Eagles tonight. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 situation for the Eagles. 6:11 on the clock and counting. Daniel Grusky at the quarterback position, stepping in for Tyler Goodman. I formation for the Eagles. And they're going to take their chances in the air. Grusky's going to let it loose with a wide open wide receiver. Daquan Bailey-Brown, he's going to catch it in the breadbasket. He's going to reverse field, folks. And out of sight, my goodness. More points on the board. Number 10, the senior Daquan Bailey-Brown. Daniel Grusky, number 12, going to meet up with his wide receiver way down in Colts territory. And, folks, that's another 6 on the board from the Eagles here in the Pig Bowl. It doesn't stop. Jared Hollander and the extra point team make their way out. 4-7.
Matt Cushion into hole. Jared Hollander who got the extra point.
Snap is back. Kick is up. And, folks, it's through the uprights. 7 points more on the board for the Eagles. 5:28 on the clock here in this fourth quarter of play. We welcome you to the Pig Bowl if you just joined us. If you're still with us, you've seen a great game so far. A very consistent Douglas offense and defense. Defense stepping it up big. Led by some big-time players, Trent Baldeo, Ezekiel Leclerc. Even some guys playing both ways. Daniel Crisatelli, number 33, at the linebacker position. But an outstanding job by both parties. Once again, impact players for tonight's game. Trent Baldeo, Riley Allison, Alex Cadellis, and Matt Caby. On the Colts side, Stubbs, Kaplan, Viren, and Ferdinand. Colts struggling on both sides tonight. What seemed to be a good game tonight in the first quarter. Colts putting up the first points has turned tremendously. 5:28 on the clock. Eagles back to kick.
For the Eagles, number 42, John Roscoe, getting set to tee it up.
Hollander back to kick. Ball is loose, end over end. It's going to be deep into their own territory, and that's going to be a touchback. Great job by the kicker. Seeing a lot of him tonight.
Touchback, Roscoe into the end zone.
A lot of frustration you could tell from these Colts players.
12 remaining. First down.
Still 5:28 on the clock here in this fourth quarter of play. And Kaplan and his offense are going to take the field once again. And I see Kaplan on the sideline, so probably a change in quarterback. Number 11, we've seen him one other time tonight. The only action he's seen tonight is a direct snap. And don't have a roster, unfortunately, for the Colts, so not sure what his name is, but he's going to be set back in the pistol. He's going to give it off to his running back, and a big-time cut. A little shake and bake, and running back's going to make his way down the field. A big-time gain for the Colts on 1st and 10. 4:15 and counting here in the fourth quarter of play. Things have definitely slowed down a bit. Coaches starting to make their way down to their sidelines. We might be calling this quits tonight, folks. Once again, new quarterback in the game. He's going to give it off to his running back, and it's going to be a big-time stop by the Douglas defense.
Brady Quinn has the ball to number 10. Damon Robinson.
Got some new fresh jerseys out there on the field.
16. Miles Dickens.
3:42 on the clock and counting. 42 points to 7. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas taking advantage of tonight's Big Bowl.
Third down coming up.
Third down in 5 situation for the Colts. And they're going to get it off. No, not to the running back. He's going to take it himself. Little read option.
Quarterback Brady Siren on the keeper.
And quarterback's going to keep it on his own. And based on the spot, they're going to bring up a first down and 10 for the Colts.
After the siren run, that'll bring up another 12
Still
points. First down.
in their own territory, the Colts make their way back out. Doubles wide receiver set. They love this stack formation to the far side. 2 running backs in the backfield. They're going to give it off to the running back once again. Just right off the tackle. And it's going to be a short gain for the Colts. 2:38 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. 42-7 is the score. Colts take the line one more time here on this 2nd and 8 situation. Trips to the far side of the field. Quarterback's going to look to his running back to do the work. And a big-time hit and a big-time stop by number 30 for the Douglas Eagles. Love seeing those fresh jerseys in there. Getting a couple rotations in for the Eagles. Even the Colts seeing some new faces out there. And number 30, Kevin Arthisomen, I want to say. Sorry if I butchered that. Quarterback's going to take it on his own this time. He's going to try and make it to the far side of the field, just outside of the end, and it's going to be another big-time stop by number 30 once again. Showing face tonight, getting a chance to get in this action. Some new faces in the game. Once again, 42-7 on the board. 1:15 on the clock and counting. Colts on a 4th and 6 situation. Doubles wide receiver set to both sides of the field. Quarterback's going to look down the field to use his arm. It's going to be a quick hitch to the outside, near side. Pass is going to be complete, but well short of the first down. And that was a turnover on downs. 35 seconds on the clock. And the Eagles are going to take the field for one last time. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us tonight here on HSPNSports.com. We thank you for joining us and supporting these student athletes, making these games go viral every week. Proud of both teams tonight. They played on both sides. As you can see, got some scrambling going on. And probably too many guys on the field. A little too excited, I would say, but a bunch of fresh jerseys out on the field, and maybe the second team, third team, not sure at this point, but 000 on the clock. And folks, we're calling it here tonight here on HSPN Sports. A lot of excitement on that opposite sideline. The Pig Bowl has been taken by Marjorie Stoneman Douglas and the Eagles. The Coral Springs Colts trail tremendously. 42-7 is the score. We're going to see if we get a pig out here somewhere. Once again, at HSPN Sports is the handle. At HSPN Sports is the handle. Thank you for joining us tonight from Twitter. You can watch HSPN all over the place. Bleacher.com, FloridaHSFootball.com, FloridaGridironPreps.com, and HighSchoolFootballAmerica.com. We thank you for streaming tonight's game. We thank you all for joining on those platforms. Want to thank those that made this broadcast possible tonight. Florida High School Football, City News Magazine, M&L Insurance, Remax and Vantage Realty, and Premier Networking Alliance. We thank you for joining us and supporting us tonight here on HSPNSports.com. Once again, Ryan Stout bringing you the action here from James M. Caldwell Stadium, featuring the Pig Bowl this Friday night under the lights. We thank you for joining us once again, and like I said, folks, there is a pig that will be kissed, and as you can see, the little pig is being brought out to the field. We're going to do our best to hold this shot and see if we can capture this moment on camera. So, just the traditional Pig Bowl ceremony. And as you can see, the gentleman with the baseball cap on, it's very difficult to see, but he has the pig in his hand. And obviously very difficult to see, but probably we'll see it sometime on social media. It was the gentleman with the hat on that had the pig. And obviously a lot of excitement going on in the middle. Obviously a great celebration for the Eagles tonight. The annual Pig Bowl every year. Not only a bowl game here in Coral Springs, but a district game. So this win counts for something other than just a principal kissing a pig and a little smack talk for an entire year. But I'm just going to assume that the principal has kissed the pig, and folks, we're going to call it here tonight. Once again, we thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll see you over at Buffalo Wild Wings for the rebroadcast. Ryan Stout bringing you the action once again. We'll see you next week.